नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरि ओं तत्सत् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं जनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तों की जय। We are going to be transported to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham की जय, श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय. Because the topic, the verse is such. राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते. This is Rupa Goswami has sung by taking shelter of yesterday or day before. Another class we discussed. Unless we take shelter of Srimati Radharani, Nityananda Balaram, and his dear devotees, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakritimasri. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Gnatva Bhutadanyapim. Then only you can chant Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Chapter 9, verse number 14 is the 13 is Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, and you take shelter. Then 14 can happen. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Then you can go back home, back to Godhead. So that's why we are singing this song, which Prabhu Goswami has sung describing the glories of Srimad Radharani. राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेश हरिणेस्कृता वृंदाविपिने से हरिणेस्कृता वृंदाविपिने से राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते वृषभानुदादि नवजसिले के ललिता सखी गुण रमित विसाके वृषभानुदादि नवजसिले के ललिता सखी गुण रमित विसाके राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते करुणां कुरु मयि करुणावरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरिते सनक सनातन वनीत चरिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते गोकुलतरुणी मण्डलमहिते गोकुलतरुणी मण्डलमहिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेश हरिणे स्कुता वृंदा विपिने से हरिणे स्कुता वृंदा विपिने से राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते करुणां कुरु मयि वृषभानुदाते नमः ललित सखी गुण रमेत विशाखे वृषभानुदाते नमः ललित सखी गुण रमेत विशाखे राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते करुणां कुरु मयि करुणावरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेश हरिणे स्कृत वृंदा विपिने से हरिणे स्कृत वृंदा विपिने से राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेश हरिणे स्कृत वृंदा विपिने से वृषभानुदाति नमस्ते के ललित सखी गुण रमित विशाखे राधे जय जय माधव दयिते करुणां कुरु मयि करुणावरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते राधे जय जय माधव दयिते Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Here, this song is written by Rupa Goswami from Stava Mala. Let us look at quickly translation. O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula, all glories unto you. All glories unto you. Why we are singing? Because we want to be transported to Sri Vrindavan Dham. For that, we have to take shelter of a pure devotee. Srimad Radharani is the topmost devotee, and all the representatives of Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudi Sampradaya, especially from Madhavendra Puri onward to Srila Prabhupada. Pretty much every one of them are Manjaris, direct servants of serving Lalita and Vishaka, who are serving Srimati Radharani. So that's why her glories are being described by taking her shelter. Vrindadevi is also part of her camp by taking shelter because we do many offenses while chanting. We have to chant the holy name. We can't chant the holy name because Lord Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 13, Mahatmanastu, the Mam Partha, take shelter of Srimad Radharani and his devotees. And then you can chant Satatam Kirtanam. As we chant, we do many offenses. As we worship the deity, there are many offenses. As you serve the devotees, there are many offenses. So all these offenses, how can you contract? In Bhagavatam, there's a verse in Prahlad's verse. One is contracting by reading one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, by chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, by doing circumambulation of Vrindadevi, Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani. By all these methods, you can counteract the offenses. We should know, we should be aware, and then we should counteract those offenses so that we can go back home, back to Godhead by hearing the holy name. Same thing, hearing also. Any of the process from Sravanam Kirtanam to all the way to Pada Sevanam, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Just one. Uh, so all these great devotees, Sukadeva Goswami, just by speaking glories, he went back. Parikshit Maharaj, just by hearing only. But the problem is, it all has the offenses. It has some of the so something is blocking. Even the hearing, you can go back home, back to Godhead. But that hearing has to come to. There are various stages of hearing. Nectar of instruction, Upadesa Amrita, chapter number verse number 8. There are only 11 verses. In that verse number 8, clearly there is the first dasha is called Sravana. Only you hear your whole life, you can simply go back home, back to Vrindavan Dham in spiritual world. Or Ayodhya or Vaikunta or Mathura, Dwaraka, Jagannath Puri, all these are in the spiritual world. You will go back there. So when that hearing is strong, very attentive, that hearing is called Sravana. Then that Sravana has to lead to Varana. Varana means it like you exchange mala. You taking the vow. I accept you as husband. You accept me as a wife, and then for your lifelong. That is called Varana mala. You exchange garlands. So that Varana means you are taking that a message of hearing in your heart. That means I really want to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, the holy name, the qualities, the pastimes, the beauty of the Lord, Nama, Rupa, Kundalira. All these are comes under hearing. That is Varana, the step two. Because one day we may hear, one day we may not hear. But that hearing has to come. The Varana means once you take it in the heart, then you will take it more seriously. Then once that continues further, then it is called next stage is called third stage is called Smarana. Varana becomes Smarana. Then when that you take it in the heart and then now you take it more seriously, that becomes Smarana. Within that Smarana, then you have stages of, then what will happen? Then you constant meditation. Absorption will happen first. Lot more absorption. In the first two stages of hearing, there is no much absorption. You simply hear, but it's not really absorbing it into the heart. So Varana, then Varana to Smarana. In that Smarana will happen is absorption. Then you recollect what you heard. You contemplate on it. Absorption, recollection, meditation. That is called Anusmriti. This meditation, this absorption, recollection, meditation, contemplation, meditation. So these stages are called. This is called recollection, also called Anusmriti. So, or some other place like Dhruva Maharaj has Dhruva Anusmriti. Prahlad Maharaj, in his remembrance, is always remembering. That is called, that stage is called Dhruva Anusmriti or Anusmriti. This you will find in chapter 3 Bhagavad Gita, verse number 11. Lord is explaining and Prabhupada is commenting on that. Ignasistas, santo muchante sarvakil vishay. So, bunjate to agam pap pachanti atma karanat. There, one who takes Krishna Prasadam, what will happen? You can go back home, back to Godhead, Vrajadam, Sarvadharman, Parichit, Mam, Ekam, Saranam, Vraja. Lord is indirectly telling Vrajadam throughout Bhagavad Gita. He is not directly telling. Vraja, there, the translation is go. Going where? Going back home, back to God, Vrajadam, that Vraj. So Rajadam. So for that, we need to concentrate on this. Simply taking prasadam can also go back home, back to God. Their Prabhupada is quoting the verses from Upanishads. Ahara suddho. When your eating is purified by taking Krishna prasadam, then what will happen? Ahara suddho, sattva suddhi. Sattva means you will come to mode of goodness and pure goodness. Sattva suddho, smrutir lambe. That smriti is called anusmriti. That smriti is also called dhruvanusmriti. That means constant remembrance of the lotus form of the Lord, lotus face of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord through prasadam, through the hearing. But that hearing has to be little more stronger. The various stages. In that middle stage, we are explaining is anusmriti, smriti, sravana, varana, smarana, and then when that smarana will constantly will happen, it will interrupt. That interruption becomes stronger, then it's called meditation. That meditation more stronger, that is called anusmriti. When that becomes even more stronger, that is called samadhi or smarana avastha. So, and then further it becomes completely filled with that meditation and samadhi fully into it, then that is called sampatti, or perfection of life, going back home, back to Godhead. Same hearing every day throughout next 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever years left. If you constantly hear with this understanding, then you can go back home, back to Godhead Vrajadam, simply by this aspect only. Or simply by taking Krishna Prasadam, not just like eating anything, but taking Krishna Prasadam with a great contemplation on the Lord tasted the remnants. So that's Ahara Suddho, Sattva Suddha, Smriti Lambe. That Smriti is Anusmriti of the Lord, Lord's pastimes. As you take Krishna Prasadam, you have to be in that consciousness. You have to remember the Lord's lotus face, form of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord as you take Krishna Prasadam. That has to come. That's a gradual process. Anusmruti. Smrutirlambe, then Sarva Grantina. Sarva Granthi means all the knots in the heart. 9 holes are there in the body, Navarandra. All those 9 holes will be built with transcendental knowledge, transcendental absorption. Then what will happen? Vipra moksha. Then you will be, we say, separate, special liberation. That means going back home, back to Godhead in prem. Not even liberation. Ordinary liberation means you can be merging into Brahmana. That is not liberation. Further liberation is Samipya, Sarupya, Salokya, that means same planet as the Lord, same form as the Lord, four-handed form, same opulence, Sarishti, Salokya, same planet as the Lord. All these are four other opulences. But devotee is not interested. Diyamanam Nagrunanti. Pandavas didn't accept this. Prahlad didn't accept. Devotees, Hanuman didn't accept because they wanted to directly serve the Lord. Their goal is to serve the Lord with love and love. That's why dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all these are rejected. Then what is accepted? Only the prema, the love for the Lord. Prema pumardo maha, panchama purushartha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha rejected. So that vipra moksha means special liberation. When you simply taking Krishna prasada, you can go back home. Chant your way back home, back to Godhead, or eat your way back home, back to Godhead, or hear your way back home, back to Godhead. Either you chant and go back home, back to God, or here you go back home, back to God, or you simply take prasadam, you can go back home, back to God. But it has to be not an external artificial. It has to be a little more deeper. Any of this, just one of this limb itself, you can go back home. It has the power and capacity and potency, but we have to understand a little more deeper science behind it. So that's why we are taking shelter of Srimad Radharani by her mercy, by Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, by Radharani's devotees, expansion of her. Then we can, that's why we chant this song first. We understand. You who dress yourself in such a way to increase Lord Damodara's love, because Yashoda Damodar, Yashodhara bound Krishna, that is Damodar month, but is also even further deeper is Srimad Radharani is binding Krishna as a Damodar. There is a baby Damodar, but this is also Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar temple. So that the Srimad Radharani bound Krishna. There's a different past tense where just like Yasodama is bound with rope, real rope of love. The same way Radharani also bound Krishna. That is actually Radha Damodar. Yashoda Damodar, Radha, both pastimes are there. So, and Lord Damodara's love and attachment for you, Queen of Vrindavan, because Srimad Radharani is the head. She is in charge. She is the crest jewel of Vrindavan. And she has given the whole Vrindavan to Vrinda Devi. So Vrinda Devi is always arranging all the Vrinda Devi and Purnamasi, Madhumangal's mother, grandmother, Purnamasi. They are the both arranging what has to happen, how it has to happen, what rasa, everything. Every day this thing is going on. O Queen of Vrindavana, which is the pleasure grove of Lord Hari. Hari means who takes away all your distress, all your problems. That's one name of Hari. The many meanings are Hari is there. O new moon that has arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. This is the father of Srimad Radharani. O friend of Lalita. O you who make Vishaka loyal. Lalita and Vishaka are the direct. There are billions of gopis. In that the topmost is two personalities. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Anand Rai. Lord Chaitanya also said they are Lalita and Vishaka. You will see in Vrindavan. You will see in Sridham Mayapur, Radha, Madhava, and Ashtasaki. The first immediate are Lalita and Vishaka. They are the dear most closest. Vishaka, loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described with great sages, because people, who, why you are singing? Because this is just ordinary boy and girl, that kind of a thing. People will think, no, this is sung by those who never married, who never want to grow, because as a child you are always pure, natural, simple, you don't get contaminated. Prahlad is telling this. 5 years old is natural. They don't have envy, they don't have jealousy, they don't have any other bad qualities. And as they grow up by the wrong association, all that, they develop all these things, unwanted things. As a child, they don't have these things. So the Sanaka and Sanatan, these four Kumaras, Brahma's four sons, they are supposed to procreate, supposed to expand. Brahma wanted them to create. They said, forget your thing. You do with all other children. We don't want to follow that. We want to become perfect our life. We don't want any agitation. We simply want to enjoy the bliss by simply staying as is in the same age. They're always as children, 5 years old or 4 years old. That's how they stayed. Even now, also, they are like that. These four Kumaras, they are expert devotees. They became pure devotees of the Lord by smelling the tulsi leaves aroma from the lotus feet of the Lord. See, just tulsi leaves, it can take back home, but it cannot be just an artificial. It has to be much more an absorption. So they are singing the glories of Srimad Radha. The brahmacharis who never married, they are singing. That means Radha and Krishna's love is not ordinary. So this is of the transcendental nature. So that's why Rupa Goswami is quoting, because people know who's Rupa Goswami. So he must be out of his mind to sing these glories or talk about these gopis. So that's why he's quoting these famous personalities. Sanaka, Sanatana, oh Radha, please be merciful unto me. So they are praying this. So they are giving this explanation. Now we'll So now we'll start the verse, today's verse, because very much connected. How do you get out of it? The history of life of Ajamil. What chapter is this? What chapter one? What canto is this? Prescribed duties. Bhagavatam has 10 subject matter. This canto, next canto is very important to come to the 10th canto. 10th canto is full of glories of the Vrajadham, Vrindavan Dham, or gopis, pastimes of the gopis, intimate pastimes. But before that, this and next chapter you have to know. Sixth canto and seventh canto, because sixth canto is talking about protection. We all want to be protected from all the problems. Every day we have to go through material problem, health problem, job problem, so many problems we go through. So we want to be protected from that and go back home, back to Vrindavan Dham. So for that you need to understand this canto, because Ajamil Zenge somehow the fallen down, he's been harassed by the Maya, attacked by Maya. So he married prostitute and is ready to be captured now. In this verse, Yamadutas has come. Body, mind, senses. With these three, body, mind, speech, or senses. With these three has engaged, you name it, every sinful activity has done it. With these three things. Though three Yamadutas has come. Because with body is engaged, with mind is engaged, with speech is engaged. So three Yamadutas has come who are fiercely looking, so ghastly looking, ready to sometimes we may get dreams of them. So we should not. If we chant the holy name, we have neck beads, you don't get it. Even in the dream, they are not supposed to be. Amaraj has instructed. So don't even approach the devotees. So they have approached here Ajamil because of the sinful activities. So that's why Vishnu Duta has come, because he has performed devotion service before. That's why Vishnu Duta has also come, because he has chanted Narayana. Narayana is four syllable name. Because his son's name was Narayan. How did it happen? Not by chance. That also because of his previous Sukruti, Saligram Sila, Narayan worship was there under the guidance of his father. So that's why even though Yamadutas has come to snatch him because of his sinful activity, they have come to do their duty. Then right away, immediately, Vishnu Dutas also appeared. No, you don't have jurisdiction. You have not understood. Go back and ask your Yamaraj, why did you come here? He's not a sinful person. He's a devotee of the Lord. You have no jurisdiction. You can't do this. You should so leave him. So Vishnu Dutas, so Yamadutas had to go back. That is how Ajamil was delivered. That's why this canto title is called protection. Protection. Poshana. Lord is maintaining his devotees. Yamaraj cannot do things. Maya cannot harass. Only if we don't take shelter of the holy name, we don't take shelter of Krishna Prasad, we don't take shelter of Krishna Katha, then yes, Maya can capture. Maya has to test. because she can only allow, she is Vaishnavi. Durga Devi is the in charge for this world. Whoever wants Krishna fully, 100%, then she will allow them to enter into spiritual world. She wants to make sure you are really want Krishna or really want even all other things also. She has to test it. So that's a devotee or not a devotee. Everybody will be tested again and again. Every day one will be going through the test. Sometimes a big test, sometimes small test. So to protect ourselves from that, then we have to chant the holy name, we have to hear the Krishna Katha, or we have to take Krishna Prasadam. By these three things, we will be protected. So that's what Ajamal's pastime is showing. If we chant the holy name, if we do Krishna service, devotee service, then we will be protected like Vishnu Dutta has protected Ajamal. So very important. Then you have to connect back to Canto 7 because Canto 7 is describing Utaya. Uti means proclivity. That means you want to enjoy in this world many different things. You want to take it for our own pleasure. That is called Uti. Utaya. Utischa Vasana. Vasana means the smell, the or the taste, the pleasures we have in the ears, the eyes, the nose. So all these five senses, sense perception, skin. So these five aspects, five senses are attracted to five different material things. Same thing, if we connect with the Lord, then it will be attracted to the transcendental things. Then you go back to Vrindavan Dham. But that is the process. Whole process is you do things, but now you have to connect, add Krishna in each of these five senses. Then it becomes transcendental. Otherwise, it's only informational or informational. It has to come to relational. Then it has to come to further transcendental, third level. So for that, then you have to add Krishna in each of these day-to-day activities. So that's why this verse, this canto, sixth canto and seventh canto is Prahlad. Especially in the seventh canto, there are 15 chapters. The middle chapters, chapter number 5 to chapter number 10, are very, very important. Especially chapter number 5, first chapter of Prahlad is very important. In that, clearly, first verse he utters is telling Hiranyakashipu, "Oh master, oh my father, please go back home, back to Godhead." Where? Vrindavan Dham. That is the first instruction is giving to his father. He is chastising and is very patiently, compassionately is telling, "You don't belong here. You are agitating yourself. You are agitating the whole world. You should go to forest, Vrindavan forest, and be happy, be peaceful, and go back home, back to Godhead." That's what he's telling. Sri Prahlad Vacha, Canto 7, Chapter 5, verse number 5, I think. Sri Prahlad Vacha, Tat Sadhu Manye, oh Sadhu. Nicely done. Tat Sadhu Manye, this sadhus are telling, Tat Sadhu Manye, Asuravarya Dehina, Yatvatma Patam, Grahamanda Kupam, Vanangota, Sada Sadamugda Diyam. Why you should go to forest? Because you are full of anxieties. You yourself are in great anxiety and you want to put others also in the same anxiety. So that's why you should not stay here. Sada Samudvik. Udvigna means anxiety. Samudvigna means even great anxiety. Sada Samudvigna Dhyan. Because your intelligence is corrupted now. That's why your anxiety is material anxiety, not spiritual anxiety. Material anxiety is day after day, it's going increasing and increasing. You're becoming so much angry, you're becoming so envious, so much lust, so much anger, so much greed, all for material things. That's why you have to now go back to Vrindavan Dham. First here in the material world, and then you practice, and then you go back to the spiritual world, Vrindavan Dham. So, Sada Samudvignadiyam Asat Grihat. Because why? You're getting anxiety, you're accepting all the temporary things. This temporary body is the real thing. You're accepting temporary home is a permanent home, your temporary car is permanent. Everything you are accepting, these are permanent, even though you know these are not going to stay for lifelong. 20 years, 10 years, 40 years, 50 years. After that, this body will go away, car, home, everything, whatever you're thinking, everything will go away. Nothing can stay, nothing you can take. Hmm. Only soul can go back to Vrindavan Dham. If you decide, that is up to you only. Lord cannot force. Spiritual master cannot force. Holy name cannot force. Individual one has to make conscious choice to do that. Then Lord will allow, pure devotee will allow. Tatsadu manya asurvaradehana itvatma patam. Sada samudvigna deham. Then itvatma patam grahamanda kupam. You are in a blind well, you are not realizing. Blind well, filled with almost sharks and snakes. Itvatma patam grahamanda kupam vanam gatova. That vanam means Vrindavan forest. Vanam gatova harimashrayat. That is why if it is ordinary forest, you would not have said harimashrayat. Take shelter of Lord Hari. and go to Vrindavan forest and go to the real home, back to Godhead. This is the main verse. How do you do that? Then immediately Hiranyakasipu was greatly angry and chastised like left and right, and even he's called his teacher Sandana. Okay, come here. What did you do here? Where are you teaching all the? It looks like some enemies has taught, or you are teaching. So I'm paying you money and you're teaching my son against my enemy. Because Lord Vishnu was his enemy, Hiranyakasipu. So then again, okay, no, we didn't teach. This is something else happened. We'll find out. So don't worry. This is a small child. Leave it. So the next time again, after a few months, again same thing. He is brought back again. Hiranyakasipu put him on the father's lap and asking, "What did you learn? Anything nice thing you learned? Can you tell me?" Then this time he went even more further. He told about the out of 64 limbs, there are nine. The most important, most amazing thing is you can go back home to Vrindavan by simply hearing or simply chanting, simply remembering. And then he has uttered this famous verse 7, 5, 23, 24. These two verses are the most famous verses. The whole seventh canto, fifth chapter is most famous. It goes even further deeper as it goes to 10th chapter. Lord Narasimha appears in the 10th chapter. Fifth chapter is the beginning to understand the 10th chapter. Then you can read 10th canto. If you understand 7th canto properly, then you will give up your proclivities to enjoy in this world. You will enjoy with the Lord. Now we are enjoying with ourselves or with others, but Lord is not there. Now that enjoyment will go to the next level. With the Lord, you will enjoy. You will chant, you will dance, you will do the parties with the Lord, not without the Lord. So that is the difference. Only thing is minus Lord. Right now, minus Lord is happening. All enjoyment, you name it, eating, drinking, whatever you are doing, that's all minus Lord. Now you have to add the Lord. Whole Bhagavad Gita is telling not renounce everything, give up your job, give up your family, go somewhere. No, that is not the instruction. The instruction of Bhagavad Gita is to add Krishna. What Krishna is telling you, follow it. You just Krishna everything. Whatever you do, eating, dancing, and chanting, everything, you have to now add Krishna to life. Then you can go to Vrindavan. That's all you have to do. That's why the whole Bhagavad Gita purpose is the karma is not eternal. Isra is eternal. Kala is eternal. Jiva is eternal. Prakriti, this material man, is also eternal. Only karma is not eternal because you didn't add Krishna to your activities, day to day. It is material activities, it is informational activities, it is relational activities, but it is not transformational, transcendental activity. For that, you have to understand how this karma works. You have to add Krishna to that each and every day, every activity you do, then it becomes karma. That means it is a transcendental karma. Then you will go to Vrindavan Dham when you give up this body at the end of life, in this life only. It doesn't take another life. That is the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to give this. That's why when you read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, whatever offenses you commit while chanting, while going to the deity worship, while doing while serving the devotees, taking prasadam, yes, because if the one drop of water of the offered to the Lord, he fell down, that's offense. One remnant, one grain fell down, that's an offense. Because that can be somebody can put his feet on that, anything can happen. So that's an offense. So many offenses we may do knowingly, unknowingly. So how do you contract? By simply reading Bhagavad Gita one chapter, you can contract by circumlating Tulsi Maharani, by serving Tulsi Maharani, you can contract. By chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, you can contract. So, by chanting the holy name, you can contract. So, that's how we have to keep on chanting the holy name. So, that's very important to know this principle. Now, we'll read this verse, then we will go further. There's a Canto 6, Canto 7 is very, very important because Vatrasura's pastime is also happens. Ajam, these two pastimes are the most significant. Without that, there is no Bhagavatam. Without Vritrasura, there is no Bhagavatam. Because you have to understand, even though demon, he became a demon, but he was so strong, so determined, so fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. He was cursed to become a demon, he was not afraid. Even in the demon's body, he was thinking of the Lord. He was chanting the glories of the Lord. He was chastising Indra. And then he went back home, back to Godhead. Very quickly it happened. He was Chitraketu Maharaj, Narada Muni, he had a spiritual master. So Ajamila, his spiritual master is his father. So that is what is required. Then you can go back to home. Ajamila also went back home. After this pastime, he went to Haridwar. 6 months or a year he perfected, he went back home, back to Godhead. So see the beauty of this process, beauty of the mercy and compassionate nature of the Lord. So now we'll quickly read 28, 29. सपासहस्तां स्त्रीन् दृष्ट्वा पुरुषान् आदि दारुणान् वक्त्रतुण्डान् उद्धरोम्ना. This is description of the Yamadutas, how they appear. It looks so ugly and so ferocious. Atmanam netum agatam dure krida naka asaktam Putram Narayana Vayam. By seeing them, we became so aggrieved, so much fearful. Then immediately he called his son. Something is there because they are taking away him. They are pulling like anything to take his body along with the subtle body to the hellish planet. So that's why he became so afraid and he's calling his son because he's very attached. Every day he was so much attached, he's calling his child again and again, Narayana. So that's why he's mentioned Putram Narayana. He's not thinking of Lord Narayana here first, no, but first he's thinking of his child Narayana. And then automatically that puts him in touch with Lord Narayana. You will see here. Plavitena Swarena Uchair with great sound and speech and with fearful because that's whenever danger comes you are in so much full your full force full strength is there concentration. Right now our chanting is not concentrated because another day you can still we have life and but we are not thinking this is the last my last day. We are not in that helpless attitude. Ideally it's supposed to be done like that. Plavitena swarayana uchair ajuhava akulendriya. Translation by Ruben A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Ajamal then saw three awkward persons because he has done with three simple activities with three body, mind, senses, and speech. Sense or speech. With deformed bodily features, fierce, twisted faces, these Yamadutas description. Hair standing erect on their bodies, with ropes in their hand, they had come to take him away to the abode of Yamaraj. When he saw them, he was extremely bewildered. Of course, anybody can be bewildered. Sometimes we get dreams like this. Because of attachment to his child, who was playing a short distance away, Ajamal began to call him loudly by his name. This, thus, with tears, because of course, because you are taking to the hellish planet, have to give up this body, your 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever years you have spent, and now all of a sudden you have to give up this body, temporary body. Imagine anything. His child is catching, his child is playing, and somebody comes and snatches, you will cry like anything. I imagine for years and months and years we have spent in this body, and imagine that body you have to give up. It will be so difficult because we are in that body. So we become so attached. We are not attached to the soul, we are attached to this body. That's what happens. So, but if we add the Lord, then it will not be a problem. That's what it is. Thus, with tears, that's why tears are coming in his eyes. Yeah, somehow or the other chanted the holy name of Narayana because first he called his son. That is explained in the purport. A person who performs sinful activities performs them with his body, mind, words. Now, these three things you just need to replace with chanting or with hearing or together or both or prasadam. If you do that, then you will go back to Vrindavan Dham. That's all you have to do. I can show you the proofs. You look at the 10th canto, chapter 14, Brahma's prayers, verse number 3. Gnane prayasam utapasya namanta eva sanmukaritam bhavadiya vartam stane stuti gatam tanu van manobir. Same three. Body, mind, speech or senses. Same three only. Only transformation is you are adding the message of the Lord. You are hearing the message of Sthane Stutigatam Tanu Van Mano. Three things are mentioned. But what these three things has to be done? Gnane Prayasam. You give up your own ideas and thoughts. Gnane Prayasam Udapasya Namantayeva. Now whose Namanta means? There is Lord's glory. Namantayeva Sanmukari. And who's in the association of devotees. Not without that. Not anybody. Not Karmi Gnani Yogi. No, they have to be devotees. Sanmukar, Satmukaritam, that means among the association of Sanmukaram, Bhavadiya Vartam, of the glories of the Supreme. If you hear with your body, with your mind, with your senses, these three things, then you will go back home, back to. In the purport, you will see the last line. Prabhupada says, yeah, by this process of hearing, you will go back home, back to Godhead, guaranteed. So, throughout, you will see. Our Canto 3, chapter 25, verse number 25. Satam prasangat mama virya samvido. Same thing it is telling. Bhavant hrat karna rasayana. What will happen? As ajjoshanad apavarga vartmani. Shraddha bhakti ratir. Rati means higher stages of bhakti, which is bhava bhakti, very close to bhava bhakti, rati, asakti, bhava. All those are three are very closely connected. When you come to rati, it's very easy, very quickly you will come to asakti and bhava, very deeply attached. Rati means so much amazingly tasty. Chanting is so tasty, hearing is so tasty, Krishna Prasad is so tasty. You will never want to do anything else. You simply immerse yourself in this chanting, hearing throughout the day. You do all other things, material things, whatever you have to do, you will do that. But you are so much in relishing internally, you are so much in bliss. That's what Rati means. You just can't do any day, painful day, distressful, whatever may be day. It doesn't hurt you. Body is going through it, but your heart is not going through that. Your heart is in a different level. Body is in on a material level because, of course, body is in this material world. You have to go through whatever it has to pain, suffering that you can't avoid it, but your heart is not becoming reflecting of that external nature. Internally, it is absorbed in something else, but that has to come through the hearing. So that's what you will see here. So three things. Therefore, three order carriers, Yamadutas has come because of the sin. Now, from Yamaraj came to take Ajamil to Yamaraj. Now, fortunately, because he has done devotion service, even though he was referring to his son, Ajamila chanted four syllables of Narayana. That's the fourth Vishnu Dutas has come. These are four syllable mantra, Narayana. Therefore, the order carriers of Narayana, Vishnu Dutas also immediately arrived there. Right away. He didn't take any time because he is helplessly uttering. So, if we chant also in the same helpless mood, when can it happen? If you do it, it doesn't happen in one day. It happens after many days and months and years. That's why Prabhupada said 15 years it takes at least. For that also it cannot happen anyway, shape. It has to be in the association of devotee. Keep on chanting, keep on hearing very strongly, very deeply, prayerfully, helplessly, because this situation can happen to anybody, any of us, anybody. So that if we chant in that helpless mode, then Lord will come and protect because He is giving the guarantee. Lord Ramchandra is giving guarantee in Ramayana. Lord Krishna is giving guarantee in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Clearly, is telling, yeah, just take shelter of me. Then how do you take shelter? Through His devotees. How do you take shelter? Through His holy name, through His Krishna Prasadam, through His hearing Krishna Katha. That is the way you take shelter because Krishna is telling throughout Bhagavad Gita. Hearing is stressing, chanting is stressing throughout Bhagavad Gita. So many verses are there. Oh Arjuna, hear attentively. I'm speaking again because you are my dear devotee. So that's why you have to be in the association of devotees and hearing. The chanting and hearing. And then Krishna Prasad. Uh, Lord's name with tearful eyes. That's when, because you are in great danger. Extremely afraid of the ropes of Emerald, he chanted the Lord's name with tearful eyes, helplessly. That's why he went. That's why Vishnu Dosa immediately appeared. Actually, however, he never meant to chant the holy name of Narayana. He meant to call his son. So that is the reason. That's why this verse is so important for us. We don't want to fall in this situation. For that, then we have to chant the holy name very nicely, very attentively, very prayerfully. We'll before ending, we'll chant the Jai Radhe Jai Krishna song. You see this verse which I quoted, Satam Prasang, famous verse. You have to note and 325:25 Satam Prasangat about hearing. Glories of hearing of the Lord in the association of devotees. Okay, Satam Prasangat is not asat. Satam Prasanga means pure devotees, those who are inclined and favorable to the Lord's personal form, not impersonal form, not karma, not gnana, not yoga. Those are all Paramatma or the external form, Brahma Jyoti. No. Satam Prasangas means this is a pure transcendental form of beautiful Lord Narayana, Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Narsimha. They are attached to the personal form of the Lord. They want to serve the Lord. They want to see the Lord. They want to feed the Lord. That is what Satam. These devotees, those who have understood this concept, then you hear the glory. Then what will happen? You will go back home, back to Godhead. You will see in the beautifully purport, proper writing. That association with devotees means association with the Lord. The devotee who makes this association develop the consciousness for rendering service unto the Lord and then being situated in the transcendental platform devotion service, he gradually becomes perfect. Yeah, that's what going. You will go back home, back to Vrindavan Dham. Or you will see in this verse which I quoted 10:14:3. Note this also. This is Brahma's prayers. Our Sampradaya Acharya is Brahma. He is telling this in the verse number 3. After Brahma Vimohan Leela. You will see the last line. What does it say? such as Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad, as well as the devotees who are preaching the such letter. One should engage his mind by feeling great reverence and pleasure while hearing. In this way, sincere devotee who has acquired even a small amount of transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna can conquer him, thus go back home, back to Godhead for eternal life at the Lord's side. Isn't it very clear? Because Tanu, Van, Manobir. Tanu is body, Van means speech, senses, Mano means mind. That's it. We have all these three, and three are interlinked with the material things. Now we have to add Krishna to these three. How? By chanting, by hearing, by taking prasadam. It is not complicated. It is not so difficult. It's easy. Only you have to be aware and you have to do day after day. That's all we have to do. Nothing difficult. The other reference which I quoted here, see, Bhagavad Gita is so important. See, the verse by eating. The Prabhupada is telling this. See this word. Ahara Suddho, by simply eating Krishna Prasad, what will happen? Sattva Suddhi, you will come to pure goodness very quickly. Then what will happen? Dhruva Smriti, you will come. Right now we are not remembering is not because even if we take prasadam, we are not in that mood, in that consciousness we are not taking. So that is the problem. Dhruva Anusmriti. Then what will happen? Smriti Lambi Sarva. All your senses, the whole body become purified. Like it become like a Pandava's body has become, while living in this planet, their body became transcendental. No more material. So that is the beauty of this process. Sarva Granthina Vipramoksha, special liberation. You will go to Vrajadham. So that is the process. See, once eatable becomes sanctified. This is what this verse is famous verse. This famous remember that 3.11. So in this way you understand. So you look at the verse which I quoted. Everything we are quoting by Shastra. Everything there is a reference. This is what this paragraph. Please make by heart and remember why hearing is so important. See that stage, Sravana Dasha, that is the first step, hearing. But it has to come to the next stage. By constantly hearing, then you will come to where? Next stage called Varana. That means you're really, without hearing, you can't go even a single day. Varana Dasha. Then what will happen? Next it will happen is remembering, recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance. These five items is called Smarana. Then further it will, because it can be interrupted at levels. Once it comes to uninterrupted remembrance, then it is called meditation. Then meditation further it goes constant, that is called anusmruti. So sometimes you will find dhruva anusmruti or anusmruti. What is that anusmruti? Means the third stage. Hearing has to come to the second stage varana, varana has to come to the next stage meditation. Then when it becomes deep, then the fourth stage is called anusmruti or also called samadhi. Then the fifth stage is called Sampati, or going back home, back to Vrindavan Dham. So I have shown you all the references, whatever we discussed, everything, whatever Prabhupada is saying, we are just simply repeating. Not like a parrot, we are repeating with understanding and consciousness of what it should have. And so the simple process is nothing complicated. So only we have to go a little bit deeper with consciousness. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda Kirtan. Now we will sing the another song. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Moham Sama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan Kesi Gata Vamsi Vata Dwadasakaran Jaha Sabha Leela Koilo Srinanda Nanda Srinanda Jasoda Jaya Jaya Gopagan Sridamadi Jaya Jaya Deno Vatsagan Jaya Vrishabhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi, Jaya Abhirana Gari. These are all the mother of Kirtidasandri, Srimad Radharani's mother. Vrishabhan, Maharaja's father. Purnamasi is the Madhumangal's grandmother. Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana Gopeshwar Mahadev. They're all Vrindavan. They're in Golok Vrindavan performing wonderful pastime. Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Batu Dvijara. Jaya Rama Gata Jaya Rohini Nanda Balaram. Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Basi Jata Jan. Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanya Gam. That means anybody can come back to Godhead. Even Dvija Patnis, Brahmana Patnis, Naga Kanya. That means even the lowest planet. Naga Kanyas are not in the earthly planet even either. Are all married. Bhakti te jahara pailo Govinda charan. How do you take shelter? By chanting the holy name, by taking Krishna Prasadam, by hearing the message of Lord Govinda, then you will attain Govinda charan. Sri Rasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Syam Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarva Manoram Jaya Jaya Ujjvala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar, because this is the highest pinnacle. You come to Vrindavan Dham and you come to understand the highest rasa. Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajeta Prachar Sri Jasnava Pada Padma Koriya Smaran Dina Krishna Dase Kohe Nama Sankirtan. Through Nama Sankirtan, by chanting the holy name, you will understand all these personalities and you will attain the same position. You will be in that association in Vrindavan Dham with Sadasiv and Gopesar Mahadev. You will be in the association with Purnamasi, with Vrindadevi, with Lalita, with Vishaka, with Vrishabhanu Maharaj, with Kirtidasundari. You will be in that association when you chant the holy name Nam Sankirtan. When in that association here of devotees here in this material world you chant, then you will be in the transport to the spiritual world. That is the glory of Vrindavan Dham. Now we take shelter.